Ah, it's my buddy Franklin! Woo woo! Alright guys, I'm just gonna get started, and if more people come on, they can just join. So, it is day 6 of Trichmas, which means we are halfway through Trichmas. Can you believe it? This is crazy. So, because we're halfway through, I wanted to do a recap of the first 6 days and what we've gone over. So, to start the recap, day 1 was what is trichotillomania and BFRBs in general. So I did like a quick overview of BFRBs, and then I also introduced the Trichmas giveaway, which if you haven't entered yet, please enter. All you gotta do is follow me if you don't already, like the giveaway post, and post a comment telling me what your #1 struggle is with your BFRB, and that enters you to win. Oh, we got a free spot in my kick trick system, which I'm super excited about. That's basically going to be Trichmas, but in way more detail, personal one-on-one support from me, group support from anybody else who signs up for it, and it's going to be so much fun. And then you also will get, let's see what else we got here. Oh, yeah, you get a free EFT tapping session with Liz from Tap Into Health. Tapping has been known to help a lot of people. Liz herself claims that it has cured her trick, and she no longer has urges to pull, but basically it's similar to acupressure, and to where you tap on certain, I know the chin is one because I've watched some of Liz's intro videos and stuff, but you tap on your chin for however long it takes and it will calm you down, or there's something with your fingers. There's all kinds of different, so basically like wherever they would stick a needle with for acupressure is similar to what you do with tapping. You can tap anywhere too, which is good. And that's a $100 value that you're gonna get for free. And then a big one is the from Trichsters. They make hair toppers and wigs, and they are giving away a free conceal hair topper, which is $350 value. The pictures of the one that was sent to me are dark brown, so I'm not sure if dark brown is the one that is available, or if you can get custom colors. We'll have to get into that with once the winner is announced, but you still get a free hair topper. How cool is that? And then thank you to Trick Warrior 78. She is donating a pair of Winter Wonder lashes in the Magnitude eyeliner for magnetic eyelashes, or the magnetic eyeliner so that the eyelashes will stay on better. I've seen her pictures of her showing her before and afters, and it's absolutely amazing how natural they look and just how beautiful the lashes themselves are. So that in itself is worth entering for. And then you're gonna get a free pulling through hat from Jen at Trick Tricks. I have one. I don't have it easily accessible right now to show you, but there are pictures of me, and I've been wearing it all through Trichmas, so you'll see it eventually. And then you're gonna get a bunch of fidgets. Like I got some magnetic, they're like tiny little magnetic balls, but you get 1,000 of them, and they are so fun to play with. It's like addicting. They're coming from Specs. That's a 1,000-piece set for free. That's like another $50 value. And then we're getting some fiddle packs from the Picking Me Foundation. It's like basically like a little pouch, and it just has a bunch of different things that you can use for your managing your urges and all the different kinds of triggers. And then there were also huge discount from Fidgets by Jack. Fidgets by Jack makes some of my favorite fidgets. Excuse me, if you saw my live the other day from when I think it was day 3, when we did the urge management tips, I showed you things in my trick kit, and there was a batch of dough that I showed you, and that is like one of my favorite things, and it comes from Fidgets by Jack. So if you win, or he gave me a very special discount for anyone who enters. So even if you enter, you're gonna get discounts to a lot of special places. So enter just to get the discounts. And then there's still more stuff being added. I've reached out to brands. I'm still working with a couple of them to figure out how we're going to work out all the details and stuff. But there's still more stuff coming, and so it's super exciting. And you're running out of time to enter. And then, so that was all day 1. Day 2 was where we really got things going and we identified our triggers. That is what we did. We used the polling profile from the TLC Foundation of BFRBs, and you learn a whole lot about yourself and your BFRB just from doing the polling profile. And if you saw the live from that day, we walked through it on how to do it, and I gave some just some personal advice on some of the things that they were saying. And then day 3 was all about urge management tips. So that was the day I went over what's in my trick kit. If you haven't already, I highly recommend downloading you get a free copy of what is in my trick kit. I think it's 15 things. Yeah, it's 15 things that I keep in my trick kit and how I use them to manage my trichotillomania and my dermatillomania. And then, so the link for the download for my trick kit, that's in my bio. It's easy. All you gotta do is enter your email and it emails it to you. And then, so on the day 3 post, I had given 4 urge management tips, and the first one was to leave at least 2 to 3 things in any location that you pick the most. So the 3 most common places that people pick or pull is in their bed or watching TV, so a couch in your bed, in a chair where you relax, or in the bathroom. Mirrors are a big trigger, and then in their cars while they're driving is another big one. So you should have at least 2 to 3 different methods that you can use to whatever you have to do to not pick or pull in those locations. And then 2 was fidgets. Fidgets are one of my favorite ways to manage because I'm a very fidgety person. So like I can time myself and make myself resist an urge for 5 minutes, but if I don't have something to play with my hands, it's really hard for me to resist my urges. So I always have a ponytail on my wrist so that I can play with it. Pencils are a big one, especially, or pens that click are another big one, because you get the clicking sensory too. So that's another thing. If you want to know more about the fidgets that I use, download my trick kit. I tell you my top 5 in there. I give you links to them so that if you want to buy your own, you can. I'm always recommending new ones that I find or new ones that people tell me about that I'm really interested in. So you just want to stay posted just for that. And then let's see. The tip number 3 from day 3 was to cover your fingers. So I use medical tape a lot on the tip of my fingers. I don't have any on right now because I don't need it right now, but I will be putting some on in about an hour and a half when I go to bed. I always put it on at night so that I can't pull when I'm sleeping, or for me, just laying in bed relaxing trying to go to sleep is a huge trigger for me. It's when I used to pull the most. So I keep my fingers covered so that even if I do try to pull or pick, I can't, because I can't feel anything. Also, some people wear gloves. I can't wear gloves in bed because it makes me too hot. Silicone finger covers are another big one. I use those a lot when I'm using my computer. Band-aids. Some people use Band-aids. Some people will put coconut oil or Vaseline on their fingernail or on their tip of their fingers or on their eyelashes to make it hard to pull. Or if you have scabs, you can put it on your scabs. It makes it hard to, it makes it slippery so you can't actually get to it. And then tip number 4 is my favorite. It is talk about it. The more that you talk about it, the less you have to hide, and less you have to hide, the freer you feel. And it is one of the best things I've ever done for my BFRB personally. Just the people that I've met since I've started talking about it they're all amazing, beautiful people, and the BFRB community is welcoming, and everyone is more than happy to give you the support and advice that you need. So talking about it, if you want it, you can message me, message your best friend, message some random person, even just type out a message like you're gonna send it to someone can help. Whatever helps, just talk about it. So then that leads us into day 4, which was a fun day for me, because it's something that I'm very opinionated on. So it was interesting to see how many people, to see your guys' thoughts and how many people agreed with what I had to say. So day 4 was about medicine and BFRBs. Personally, from years and years of taking many different medications, being off medications, all kinds of different stuff, I've found that if you go to a doctor or you go to a psychiatrist to get treatment, the very first thing they're most likely going to say is, we're going to put you on antidepressant, anti-anxiety medication. That is fine if depression is something that you're dealing with on top of your trich, because it will help your depression, and it might help your urges be less because your anxiety might be less, but it's not actually going to help you as far as not pulling and picking. That's a completely different thing. Antidepressant medicine doesn't actually do anything for that. Again, I'm not a medical professional, so this is all just my personal opinion from lots of research and just personal experimenting. So if you're going to do anything with your medication, talk to your doctor first. Don't just do it on your own. But I do think, so I don't think that medication necessarily, there's no cure. There is no medication that you can take every day that's just going to fix your problem. It sucks. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. And so I recommend to any trickster that I talk to that they use medication as a tool to manage their urges. So like I was saying, like my depression medication helps my depression, which in turn does help my BFRB, because depression can make it worse because I'm all out of sorts. So things that normally wouldn't trigger me will trigger me more when my depression is bad. So things like that can help you, but it's, like I said, it's not going to stop your problem. It's just going to help you manage it. That's the same thing if you take, like I've also had ADD medication in the past, and I never expected it to, oh my god, I'm just going to be able to focus on anything and everything. I just used it as a tool, and when I was taking Adderall, it's actually when I started my business. So I've been trying to figure out how to get back on something like it, but I can't take Adderall because it overstimulates me and makes me pull a bunch. And that is actually when my skin picking went into ultra bad mode, and it was bad. So we got off of that immediately. But now I have a new psych. We're going to see what he says. Yay! Sorry, I got sidetracked there. Okay, day 5 was cannabis and BFRBs. So if you live somewhere where there is medical marijuana, you should try and get it, because cannabis is the best thing that I have done for not just my BFRB, for myself in general. It helps me with so many things. It helps me manage my BFRB. It helps me manage my anxiety. It just keeps me in a better mood, better spirit in general. It helps with my migraines. I get really bad migraines. I use cannabis rub on my migraines all the time, and it's like, bam. And just pain in general. If I walk dogs, so sometimes, I get dragged or fall down, or just from walking a lot, I'll be sore, and I'll just put some of my cannabis rub on there, and it helps, and it works wonders. I even have cannabis deodorant, and honestly, it is some of the best deodorant I've ever had. It also, okay, and then the other thing I wanted to stress about cannabis is you can use cannabis to manage your BFRB without being high. So there are 2 main things that people are talking about. There's lots of different things in cannabis that actually help you, but THC is what gets you high. CBD is what has more of the healing components and the medicinal aspect of marijuana. And you can get pure CBD products that are fully legal in a lot of states now. You can order it online, have it shipped to your house. Those are some of the brands I've been trying to work around to get them to donate something for the giveaway. Hopefully we can get something for you guys. But CBD does not get you high. So if you are taking something that is 100% CBD, even if some CBD will have like 0.03 up to 0.03% THC, which is not going to do anything to you even if you've never smoked weed in your life. So, and CBD is one of the main ways that I manage my anxiety, which is one of the main ways that I manage my trich, because my trich is very connected to my anxiety. So that was it for day 5. And then today we talked about if you want to be what is pull free versus pulling less, or picking less, or being pick free. So if you are pull free or pick free, that means that you are promising to yourself that you're not going to pick or pull for however many set of days that you choose. So like every morning I pledge to myself that I am not going to pull for the day, and then I keep track of whether or not I was pull free. Pull less means, or pick less means that you're managing, or you're choosing to pick or pull less than you normally would have. So say for example the bathroom, instead of being in there for just 5 minutes, there might be times you're in there for an hour picking at your face or pulling out your gray hairs, whatever. And so you might want to start with something like that, and then you can try and make yourself to where you're only in there for 45 minutes, or you're only in there for a half hour, and then you just slowly work it down to where all of a sudden you go in the bathroom and you're not picking and pulling anymore. So that's just an example of what pull less is, but really it's like you're just managing to pull less overall. Let's see, how did I write it on here? Pull less means to pick less than normally would for a set amount of time, and whether it be minutes, hours, or days. So you can do it for 5 minutes, you can do it for 30 seconds, you can do it for an hour, you can do it for a whole day, whichever works best for you. And that's where you got to test these things. If you're new to all of this, I recommend trying with a pull less approach first. If that's not working for you, maybe you try a pull free, but most people do a pull less, working their way into be pull free. That's kind of how I did it, which leads me into why pull free is what I choose to do, because for me, I am a no excuses person. So if I'm able to make an excuse for it and I give into that excuse, I will beat myself up for it. So by telling myself that I'm pull free, that I have less opportunity to make excuses for myself. When I use a pull less approach, I tend to, oh, well, it's just one more, or oh, well, I only am bleeding in one spot, we can go to this leg, and those kind of thought processes. So, and I'll give into them, and because instead of being like, oh, well, I've only pulled 3 hairs instead of 20, it's okay if I pull one more, I just don't pull at all. So that's where the way your mind works is which way you're going to have to choose. And even though I'm pull free, I am still pull less, because see, I do give into my urge, or I am subconsciously pulling and I catch myself. That right there is an accomplishment. Anytime you catch yourself or stop yourself in the behavior, pat yourself on the back, because that is one step closer to not having that urge as bad. And then so from the comments from today, a lot of people have been saying that they choose to be pull less, which I was expecting. I think there's been more people saying pull less, but there's been a lot of people that I know are pull free. But a lot of people have been saying that they choose to be pull less because the thought of failure is what gets them when it comes to the pull free approach. See, I don't see it as a failure, because I see it as, even if I do pull, I catch myself. So that is still an accomplishment to me. That is still me trying to be pull. That is me being pull free. But again, I understand the failure side of it, because that is something that took me a long time. Like, I'm in the process where I've been working at this for at least a year. So it took me about a year to get to where I am now. So it's the mindset, but you have to allow your mindset to, you have to keep an open mind and allow yourself to continue to grow. And then just a reminder, join the giveaway. And then also, if you want to join the discussion on if you're pull free or pull less, pick free, pick less, go into the day 6 post from today and comment on the feed, or if you want, you can send me a message. You can say something in the stories and tag me in it. Whatever you want to do, just let me know, because the more that I know what works best for you, the more that I know what I need to give you through the rest of Trichmas and in the Kick Trick system and anything else that I create for you guys in the future. So yeah, I want to hear from you. I want to know if you're pick or pull free, or I'm sorry, if you're pick pull free or pick pull less. Whew. Okay, so guys, to you guys who are watching, I have been working really hard at trying to come up with a way of saying pick and pull free or pick and pull less without having to say pick pull, but it's very hard. There's no word that works for both, and